on, keep it going too. Yeah. That was me there, by the way. That's how big a budget operation this is. So, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
How are we all? Yes, thank you for coming to this show. Thank you for partially socially distancing in little bubbles here, but thank you for coming out and helping me catch COVID-19. Now that we're at the end of the pandemic, are we? We're not bothering with masks anymore, and we're in little groups. And you're all young mainly, so you probably haven't been vaccinated. I mean, she's the only lady with a mask. She's the only person that gives a shit about my health. The rest of you want me to die. You go, look at this old fucker. Let's have some space on the housing ladder now. Is that what it is? Let's go here. Here's a guy in his 40s. Let's go to the top secret and kill him. We'll not have the vaccine. We'll have anybody. You're probably not even got a 0 vaccine. You're probably -5 vaccines just to go. And we're any vaccinated people. Maybe the guy up the back there. He's looking in his 30s. Yeah. The guy in a mask on. He took it off there. He decided he went, no, he doesn't deserve. I'm going to get my germs as well. Germs. There's even a toilet in the room. That's how much they disrespect me. So thank you for coming. Oh, we had a good lockdown. I hope, does that sound sarcastic? Did you have a good lockdown? I had a wonderful lockdown. I got married during lockdown. I didn't, but I totally did. You know what I mean? I didn't get married, but I totally got married. You know, I got lockdown married. I got, do you want to spend the rest of lockdown with your own personality or have sex? Do you want to move in with your girlfriend? Yeah, not married. I didn't get Boris Johnson married. He got married, didn't he? Boris Johnson got her pregnant, shit, another one. How many? I've lost count. I may as well marry. It's not as if I'm going to stay faithful anyway, married. He got married. I didn't get properly married. I got like Jerry Hall, Mick Jagger in Bali, not legally enforceable married. Yeah, she's getting nothing when we split up married, you know. Get nothing anyway, but she's getting nothing married. So that's how I... Have you heard of COVID-19? You heard of COVID-19? If you don't know what COVID-19 is, young people, COVID-19 was a conspiracy back in March of 2020 between the Chinese government, Bill Gates and my girlfriend to trap me in the house, not see my friends, stop me kissing strange women. So that's how I got stuck in a lockdown marriage. And not only that, I got stuck in a lockdown marriage and I got retired as well for a year. So that's the hardest kind of marriage. Retired. This is the wrong audience for this. You're too young. We need some old people here to know how bad. My parents were married 30 years before they had to spend any time with each other. I went straight to lockdown, married, retired, right away. I'm like a ninja. I've spent more time with my girlfriend than my mum and dad have spent their whole marriage together, okay? I'm done now. I'm ready for lockdown divorce. Can I just say, right, if my girlfriend wanted to trap me in an unhappy marriage, lockdown is exactly how she'd have done it. Stephen, you missed to tell me the government was just on the TV, you're only allowed out 1 hour a day. Stephen, the government, you're not allowed to fly abroad anymore, Stephen. They've closed the pubs. I'll have one person enjoy it more than everything else. Do you know what? Have you ever seen like the Apollo and there's that sort of uniform everyone join equally? I hate that. I hate it. Is that because this is exactly what you've done? Have you also trapped a man during lockdown? This is what my girlfriend would do. You know what I'm talking about?
The other way around.
You've been trapped?
Yeah.
People, we are through the looking glass here. At last, a man has taken your sneaky lady tactics and turned it in on yourself. There. You've got Yeah, we've got a lot of women in. I've got to warn the guys, this is what, young man there, you can sit with a beautiful woman, but let me tell you, there's a thing called salami tactics. And what this is, salami is gradually, isn't it? Bit by bit, bit by bit. Women just ramp it up gradually, just get you, you know, so they say, oh, can I have a drawer in your flat? And the next thing you know, you're married with 5 kids, and you've had a vasectomy. Because of your sneaky lady tactics, just constantly sneaking, I know what you're like. So this is why a woman says to me, can I have a drawer in your house? And I'm like, no way. You don't get a drawer, because I know how this ends, okay? You destroy my mortal soul. So, no drawers, you'll get a basket. Okay? I'll get you a basket from Primark and you can walk about my house with your possessions in it. No, I'll tell you what, right? I'll get you a sports locker. How about that? I'll put a sports locker at the entrance to my flat and you can check your items in when you come in. Just go about wearing a robe. There we go. A robe and some slippers, and then when you leave, you can collect your items. That is how we know Hitler was not a woman. Because let me tell you, if Hitler had been a woman, he would have held Russia, wouldn't he? He would have held Russia. This is the problem. Hitler went in too masculine, didn't he? He went into Russia all aggressive and obvious. And what he should have done, he should have gone in like a woman, didn't he? He should have, Hitler, he should have went, hey, Stalin, could I have like a shelf in the bathroom for a moisturiser? And, hey, Stalin, right, mate, I'm going out to the girls in Moscow just for the weekend. Right, just for the weekend. Can I park the tanks in the driveway till Monday? It'll be gone on Monday. So that's it. Sneaky. I'm married now. I'm married, and it's a fair. It's a modern. We do everything 50-50 housework. 50-50. That's fair, isn't it? Down the middle. Right. I'm tall. She's short. Okay. I do all the high up stuff. She gets all the low down stuff. She gets all like carpets and kitchens and toilets and beds and clothes, because my clothes are always on the floor, and all dusting and all that sort of low down stuff. And then I get high up stuff like light bulbs and spiders, okay? If they're in my sector, spiders. She's going like, get that spider. I'm like, yeah, but I don't kill spiders in my sector. I let them roam free. About it. You seem a bit sceptical. It's a fair system, isn't it? It's done by height, it's done by everyone to their own natural abilities. I'm tall, I've got the light bulbs, she gets like all the dishes. Seems skeptical. No, she's been rebelling against this system as well, I've got to say. I'm like, very greedy, it was 50-50. She's like, clean the pots, and I'm like, the pots are low down. She goes, they hang on the ceiling. Bang! Like that. It's got me right there. I'm like, alright, fair point. Just, that's it, but I'm happily married. I'm getting out any point. What can we agree what happened in lockdown stayed in lockdown? Is that what happened? You're not, yeah, I don't know what you're up to, but you're definitely abs. It was lockdown was like a giant Las Vegas, wasn't it? Like a shit Vegas. It was like a shit Vegas with no shows or tunes or anything. But it was like, what happens in lockdown? Whatever you had to do to get through lockdown, right? I chose acid. I was on acid for all of lockdown. Doesn't matter, it doesn't count, it was lockdown. It doesn't matter, whatever you had to do. Maybe you drank all of the wine in Waitrose. Put all of your bottles in my recycler. Doesn't matter, okay? Whatever you had to do. Maybe you killed a few people, I don't know. Did anybody here lockdown kill? I mean, it wasn't proper murder, was it? It was COVID murder, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going, you're going to go, he's a killer. You're like, come on, it was COVID killing. It's not real. You went round a roundabout the wrong way, there was nobody. Lock doesn't count. Lockdown doesn't. Do you know the thing about the tree in the forest? You heard of this thing? This tree. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, okay? And the tree's girlfriend, who's already smokes weed, so she's got a dealer anyway, and the tree says to her, can your dealer get me some acid? And nobody witnesses the transaction. did it happen? If the tree falls in the middle of the forest and the tree decides he's going to get fit during lockdown, this is about the second week of it, and so he's on the roof terrace doing jumping jacks, but by about July, believe me, has lost the will to live. And so manages to end lockdown with the exact same body shape he started with. Did it happen? Okay, if the tree falls in the middle of the forest and the tree fucked a neighbour, now, wait a minute, right, the neighbour who wasn't attractive before lockdown, but during lockdown options were limited and it got a lot more difficult. Does it matter? Okay. The tree's girlfriend says yes, right? Even if the tree's on acid. Okay. Okay, so if the tree falls in the middle of the forest and no one's there to see it, and now the tree is going to relationship counselling with the girlfriend of the tree, and they're saying to the tree, sex is never about sex. I don't know if you've had relationship counselling. Sex is never about sex. They always say that it's about something else, and the trees go, please make it about sex, because I don't want to have to come up with another reason about what this might be about. Okay, can we just say that sex is a bit about sex? Is that? If I was a relationship counsellor, sex would be, it's a bit about sex. No. It's not about sex at all. It's about power. It's about loneliness. He's looking very uncomfortable at the moment. Right, okay, I'm not trying to do a Jeremy Kyle on anybody. Who's brushing his hair in a very self-conscious fashion. I'll give you the tree's number, right, that's fine. So it's never about sex in the relationship. So you have sex, not about sex at all. It's like a bit like if you go to the garage with a flat tyre and they go, this flat tyre is not about a puncture, okay? It's not about that. The tyre's dad, he also didn't treat his wife well. That's what this is about. That's that. It's never about sex. It's never about sex. With psychologists. Everything else is about sex. Everything else. The shard is about sex, right? The shard. You know what that is? A giant phallus. Or maybe they needed the real estate in central London. No, it's just a massive cock. That's all it is. Oh, they're sending rockets to Mars now. Just another penis, that's all that is. I'm pretty sure that's the optimum shape for getting through the atmosphere. No, it's a penis. Look at this dirty fucker playing golf, trying to get it in the hole. We know what that's about, don't we? Just 18 vaginas, that's all that is. Look at this pervert with his tartan trousers, 18 vaginas, and the green, that's just 18 shaved vaginas, that's all it is. Look at this pervert playing snooker. You know what that is? Snooker, that's 6 holes on a table. Colour, you know what that represents, don't you? That's 2 vaginas, 2 assholes and 2 mouths. This guy, in his head, he's not playing snooker, he's reverse gangbanging 2 women. That's all it is. Right, snooker player, finishes the snooker match, goes to a brothel, has sex with 2 prostitutes. That is not about sex. That is... Yep, that's... Yeah, I thought we deserved more, but you're like, no. We like the logic of it, but we don't find it that funny, to be honest. That punchline happened during lockdown, it doesn't count, right? If that punchline didn't work, and the tree fell in the forest, and no one was there to laugh, did it happen? That's what I say. So anyway, I'm glad we've got quite a lot of women, so I've got a bone to pick with all of you. Because, here's the thing, because gigs have started about a couple of months now, okay, and sometimes you're at a gig, and somebody comes up to you at the end, you think, oh, can I get a compliment? You know, feel free then. Woman, this was in Reading a few weeks ago, she came up and I'm like, oh yeah, she's going to say something nice, and she went, you have got a hairy back. And just left, and I had my shirt on at the time, and she's never seen me. I'm like, based on what have I got? Based on how have I got so arrogant that I assume, like what, you just looked at my eyebrows and you sort of projected based on all the people that you've slept with and ran it through that database. That's so damn presumptuous, that is that. You know, one of the great things about sex is you can never predict a person's body, can you? You can sort of, you can, that's one of the, you go, oh, that's a surprise, like, there's always some nipple bigger or some misshapen thing, or something out of, you know, that's the surprise of it. For her to just think that I've got a hairy back based on my face, and just, it's rude, and I do have a hairy back, but it's the arrogance I don't like about it. Well, I've got a hairy back compared to a Chinese man, okay, I'm definitely, but not compared to a Russian oligarch hunting in Kazakhstan for the weekend, stripped to the waist with an AK-47. It's all relative. I said to my girlfriend, I do have a hairy back. She went, yeah, you should sort that out. You should. So I don't like that. I've got to get it waxed. Now, because of one stray comment at a gig, I've got to get my back waxed. This was not meant to be a man thing. Men, we invented waxing to distract women from getting equal pay, didn't we? That was it. Do you remember that, guys, at a white men meeting? Do you remember that? We back in 94. Do you remember we organised that? We said they'll be reeling from paying so much, we'll distract them. And now it's come back on us like a boomerang with a grenade on it, hasn't it? Like a bomb on a bungee, but it's come back to haunt us like a Dominic Cummings. It's just blown back up in our faces again. And I know nothing about the waxing subculture. Like I know about as much about waxing as I know about grime, right? Nothing whatsoever. No interest in me whatsoever. I don't even know. I don't know if we get some metrosexual men in here that know more. I know nothing about what. All I know is that somewhere between a health farm, a nail bar, and a brothel, somewhere in the intersection of that, you know, there's a Bermuda Triangle of back wax somewhere. And possibly getting inadvertently whacked off. I don't know. I've heard things, that's all I'm saying. I understand that some of the back waxing places do massages. I understand that some of the massage places do happy endings. But that you don't get a happy ending with waxing. Which to me seems that's when you really need it. I don't think you need a happy ending with massage. A massage is already nice. How greedy can one person be? You know what I mean? Like, I get a happy ending at a massage. It's like eating a really good dessert, and then I think I'll have a topper on that. I'll have another mess on top of. Alright, some of you might do that, but that is. Whereas, you know, you're in a lot of pain with waxing, happy ending would even out a bit. Come some. So I used to hear that. That was really, I thought it gave it an atmosphere. Interesting, unexpected sound effect there. So I went to this place in Kilburn. Maybe you can recommend me at the end of the show. I don't know. I went to a place in Kilburn to get my back waxed, and I've been met before. Were you there? Were you? You think that was the wrong borough of London to go? You go, no, you really want to go to Wandsworth, Stephen, for that kind of thing. I would have thought they would have fixed prices. To me, they should have a fixed price. Backs, whatever, 30 quid, whatever it is, they should have a fixed price. But no. You know what the woman did? This is in the foyer, this is in the reception, public bit. She went, take your shirt off. And she did. Take your shirt off in the entrance bit, and with like a giant window with like families going past the street, and she just looks at my back and sucks air in like she's a builder pricing a job. Got right going, it's going to cost you. I mean, that whole back section is going to have to redone, and we'll have to redo the shoulders as well, and the side and the buttocks. Who did that? Terrible, dreadful mess of that. And you've got the hole in the table. I don't know if you know that. I've got a hole for your face, which is so that when you cry, they can't see. When you cry in pain, the tears go down there, and you retain your masculine dignity. You just weep uncontrollably. The hole in the face. There's a bucket underneath of it. You've seen the hole in the table. Yeah. I'm glad he's verified that, because we would not be continuing. He's been sent along by the government body of comedy to verify all routines. He was there as well at the Kilburn place. I don't know how much to scream out in pain. I mean, is it rude to not at all? Are you meant to give them a bit of encouragement? I don't know. Or is it destroying my masculinity to scream out in pain? I don't know what the story, because I don't want to be like too weak, and then it gets gossiped about. Because I bet these beauticians, I bet they gossip, don't they? I bet. Do we have any beauticians in? I bet you all got a network of them. He's a bit of a wuss, that guy. Yeah. Came in, the Scottish guy, with a hairy back, screaming out. You know, now I'm competing not only with the men who get their stuff waxed, but all the women who've had years of practice, been tougher than us. So I'm like really, and I never went to a public school. I mean, so if you're not British, that means private school. But I never went to a fancy boarding school, and I never had the pleasure of being spanked by the housemaster while I came in front of my compatriots and not being able to cry out in pain. And having to hold it in. I never had that. I never had the privilege of being in World War I at Gallipoli and having a bullet taken out of me without any anaesthetic whatsoever. And having to bite into her. She's making up her own punchlines here. I've got a better ending to this bit. I'll tell you, just write it down, I'll put it there.
That's what my school was like.
Oh my god. I thought it was banned by that time.
Not been, but it's fine. Carry on.
Well, it's alright, I'm intrigued now. I mean, like, what was it, physical pain or was it?
No, just like...
Just emotional destruction, is it? That's the best way to get them, isn't it? I mean, you can get over emotional stuff, I'm sorry, you can go over physical stuff, but emotional really plants the seeds that never are removed, and then you end up doing stand-up comedy. So, you know, good evening, nice to be here. This evening. So, I was stoic. Because this is my World War I, this is my war. People go, what did you do in Nam? What did you do when you got waxed? I wanted to get on the leaderboard. I wanted to get on whatever they have, certainly the North London leaderboard. I wanted to get on, maybe not the whole London one, but I thought I'm going to be a legend in this woman's family's lifetime. We're going to talk about me for eons. He's going to be, remember the guy, the Scottish guy that came in and I looked at his back like I was a builder. Remember that? Yeah, I thought I'll be remembered. I went back there, started going through the whole drill again. 2 months later, she just take off your shirt. I'm like, I've been here before. She's like, no, you haven't. I can't believe it. Looked at my back, went, yeah, actually you have. My back's more memorable than me. That's just. So that's what happens with loose words. Okay? Now, I think we're all committed on the no masks thing here, aren't we? Do you know those people that were going about during lockdown with them on their chins? They weren't on the tube. Was it you? They weren't not wearing them. Hey, those people, they weren't not wearing them, they weren't wearing them. They were like just sitting on the fence. They were like, well, I don't believe in science, and also fuck all of the other people, but also I'm not quite committed to brazen it out. It's like people thought it was like a chin strap or something. Just, whoa, slip down, officer. Oops. Oh, sorry. My mask fell down. So sitting on the fence, at least if people are going to go, I like in the middle of the pandemic, when you get the odd brazen fucker that just walk on the tube with not one, and you go, well, I admire your cojones, you know, I admire. It's these people that I hate cowards. Does anyone like cowards? I mean, that's not a controversial opinion. I hate cowards. Oh, really? I hate cowards. I don't mind traitors, right? They pick a side. More than one, but I hate cowards. My friends are cowards, you know. I don't like it. There's no dog in this fight. You know those people? No dog. That is me, right? He never wants to get involved in an argument, and I like to help him. And I say, come in my side of the argument, right? Yeah, that routine's ruined now. The thing is, he wouldn't have an opinion on that. He'd go, you know, there's fault on both sides, Stephen. I feel that the book is partially blamed, but also you put it there. I don't really get it. You know those people that just won't take a side? And it's like with me and my girlfriend, and I'm trying to rope him in my side because he's my friend, right? He's my friend first, and that's how he belongs to me. I brought him into the friendship. I'll own him, essentially, legally. If we split up, me and my girlfriend, he comes with me. That's what's happening, whether he likes it or not. So he's committed to me, and I'm having an argument about, you know, the whole dishes thing, because there was a whole, you know, the whole low down, up down, some people say I wasn't pulling my weight, but I'm not having that. But I was trying to drag her in, right, him in. I was trying to drag him, I made Gareth, trying to get him in, and he's just going, I've got no dog in this fight. Do you know that phrase? Some people, you don't know, some of you don't. You might not know it. You might be foreign, or you might be too young, or you might be stupid, or you might have a cat. I don't know. Do you know the phrase, no skin in the game? You know that, no skin in the game. It's the same thing. No dog in the fight. It means you've got no vested interest one way or t'other. You're neutral. You don't want to get involved. Cowards, right? You don't want to get involved. Right, imagine there's two dogs having a fight, okay? No, it's a bit posh in Covent Garden, but say you're at Walthamstow or something, there's two dogs, or Kilburn, whatever, right, it's two dogs, they're having a dispute. I don't know what's happened, is they were having an argument, it escalated, right, maybe one of the dogs called the other dog's mother a bitch, or maybe the other dog lent the first dog doggy biscuits and it hasn't paid back the principal loan and now there's added interest, or maybe, you know, maybe the first dog is now moved in with the second dog's lady dog, and his pups are now living in that guy's kennel, and he wants to take the pups out for the weekend and show them how to piss against a lamppost, and I don't know, whatever, right, the dogs, there's two pit bulls fighting with each other on a bit of waste ground, and there's a group of men round the dogs betting. They're throwing 20s down on the ground and they're egging the dogs on, and the dogs are tearing lumps out of each other, right, and you walk past, you just take a shortcut from the pub and you walk past this bit of waste ground, and you see this, and you look at this and you go, this is none of my business. I literally have got no dog in this fight. Well, I'm going to put a bet on it anyway, right? Because you couldn't not favour one of the dogs. You would always favour, you know what I mean? One dog's always more charismatic than the other dog. Think about it. You've gone all the way out to the illegal dog fight in Gloucestershire, right? You know the ones you get on WhatsApp groups, right? It's not, you know the illegal dog fights. It's not even on Google Maps, right? You just have to get the instructions. It's like, turn down the lane, it looks like a dead end, turn 2 left, park up by the light transit vans, right? You know the illegal dog fights, and there's probably a hamburger van with an England flag on it. Too many Lonsdale talks of my liking, and you've got to pay a cover charge as you go in to Moira on the door. You know Moira? She's like, you think, I don't know, she's going to kill me or fuck me. But, you know, you used to, big women, like, you used to get these women in the 80s in Scotland, they had massive tits, but no bra, cropped hair, chain smoked like a man, but not lesbians. And very confusing, right? She's like that. You've got to pay the 20, and there's not a proper bar, it's just like a crate of Red Bull, and it's a heavy atmosphere, everybody's smoking because it's illegal already. Anyway, the sweat, the dogs have got their muzzles on, they're ready to go at each other, and somebody comes up to our mate and goes, what dog are you backing? And he goes, I've got no opinion. I've come out from London just to waste the petrol. I've got no dog in this fight whatsoever. I was at Hamley's, you know the toy place, they had soft toy dogs, teddy bear dogs. They were all the same, but I still liked some more than that. They're on the shelf, and I'm like, they're never quite identical, are they? You know, it's soft toy, even if they're identical, but they're like, you go, that one's a little bit chubbier, that one's a little bit, that's a bit thick, that one. That one looks nice, I bet it ripped the face off a toddler. And you always pick one. In soft toys, you have a favourite. You can't not have a favourite. You've got to have a dog in the fight. But he didn't. Do you remember last November there was a big dog fight in America? Do you remember there was a big dog fight between, there was the Trump dog, and he was a Pekingese. He thought he was a bulldog, but he had very small paws. And then this mange-old Labrador called Biden, and a lot of people said both those dogs should be put down. And a new generation of pups could come through, but nevertheless, you had to have a dog in that fight, didn't you? You had a dog, yeah, you pick a dog in a fight, you pick a side. You're not a coward. We all had a dog in that fight. Right, I like the old racing one, right? Either one, eh? That's clever. What about, I'm telling a the water, I'm the only one with a jacket on here, I'm up the water, you're going, oh, well, I don't think we should be having a break there. Fuck you, I might take my jacket off in a minute, but then just start seeing my hairy back, and I'm self-conscious about it. I don't like it. This is you lot during, all you lot, I mean you, I mean the public, but you're part of it, right? During lockdown, I didn't see anybody, it was all Facebook and social media, and basically, this is what you lot sounded like during all of lockdown on my social media feed. Like, I don't trust the government. What? I don't trust the Chinese. I don't trust the Russians. I don't trust the vaccinations. I don't trust the anti-vaccinations. I don't trust Boris Johnson's wallpaper. I don't trust Dominic Cummings except when he slags off Boris Johnson, then suddenly I trust him. Like, who's trusting people? Who trusts people? Does anybody here trust people? No, you're shaking your head because you're at school. You went to that school, that knocked trust out of you for the rest of your life. Have you met people? Honestly, have you trusted okay, after everything we know about people, are you trusting people? Don't trust people. If you think you're a people person, do not trust people. If you trust people, you are no people person. Trust me. Except don't trust me because I'm a people, right? You know, after everything, are people not the most fucked up? Ask anybody that has ever met, been in a relationship with, married, divorced, been in a business with, invested with, or sat next to on a train, right? You cannot trust people. Yeah? What's your favourite conspiracy? She's always there for me when I need her, right? She's a bit quiet, she comes in. She's like a football player. She's a football player, she's on the bench, but you know when the team's in trouble, you get her on the park and she galvanises the team and you score a goal. That's what happens. He galvanises your lot. Alright, have you heard of QAnon? QAnon. No, you don't. Yeah, you've heard of it there. You went to fancy school. QAnon. It's the best conspiracy theory in the world. Of course, it's American. Of course, it is. Everything's bigger and better in America. QAnon is the best, toppermost conspiracy theorist in the world. You know what it is? It's an all-encompassing, broad church, pro-Trump, should have won the election, Democrats stole it, pro-God, WWG, W1A, Hillary Clinton, really a man, right? You know, red pill, Bluetooth, dark web, deep state, patriot, COVID doesn't exist, but also the Chinese invented it, 5G mask, Bill Gates, Pizza Gates, satanic paedophiles, Hillary Clinton, Tom Hanks. Now, I've got one problem with that conspiracy. Why satanic paedophile? Anyone know why are paedophiles not already bad enough? But they were a satanic paedophile. I mean, paedophiles are already, if you told me you're a paedophile, you're already at 100% maximum disapproval. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a paedophile, you go, yes, and he also has 6 points on his driving license. It doesn't make it any different. Nobody walks into a job and he will tell me a bit about yourself. Well, I am a satanic paedophile. I'm afraid I can't offer you the job. If you'd said you were merely a paedophile, it would have been yours. But unfortunately, the satanic puts you over the edge a bit. Here, you know what's good about paedophiles, right? Here is... No, we need paedophiles because, listen, in society there always has to be somebody worse than you, right? It doesn't matter how much you fucked up in life, and some of you are young so you haven't fucked off enough yet, but believe me, you'll be glad at paedophiles one day. You'll go, at least I'm not a paedophile, okay? So maybe you fuck your wife's sister to get money to embezzle from his company, and then steal our granny's house in the will and sell it. People will go, well, he wasn't a paedophile, I'll give him that. You know, that's how, yeah, it's the one thing you can go, he's not By the way, this is aimed for people in the audience that are not paedophiles, okay? If you're a paedophile, this section's not for you. If you're a paedophile, there'll be a bit along for you in a moment, but if you are I don't want you going on Twitter tomorrow and complaining that I'm not inclusive, going, well, I went to the comedy space because I'm a paedophile and we were not included. There was a definite anti-paedophile agenda throughout the whole thing. I found it very disgusting and inclusive. Close the place down, deplatform them immediately. Right, you've got to be, you're better than a paedophile. And even, I bet, if I know people, I bet even paedophiles think they're better than other paedophiles, right? You know what I mean? I bet there's a hierarchy of hate within the paedophile community. Like, you know, like, yeah, like, you know the uncle paedophiles, right? The uncle paedophiles, you know, the good old uncle paedophiles, the sort of entry-level, bog standard, common or garden, communist mob paedophiles, right? The basic journeyman paedophile, the basic, you know, like, they go, I'm a good old uncle paedophile, at least I keep it in the family, I'm just an uncle. I'm not even a paedophile, I'm just too lazy to chase women, and there's women in my family, I'm just a good old uncle paedophile. At least I'm not like those dirty teacher paedophiles that have a whole career to get access. They're sneaky, I don't like them, they become teachers just to get access to kids. It's better, and then the teachers paedophiles are going, no, wait a minute, at least I give the kids extra lessons, and you know, at least I'm not one of those dirty priest paedophiles, because they really, they denigrate the whole religion, and they stop people believing in God, the dirty priest paedophiles, and they undermine Christianity, which is the underpinning of European culture. And the priest paedophiles are going, well, at least I'm not a satanic paedophile. I mean, when I'm a paedophile, I do it in the name of God and not in the name of the Prince of Darkness. You know, and then the satanic paedophiles are going, well, at least I don't work for Amazon. Yeah. At least when I'm a satanic paedophile, I'll let people go to the toilet. I'll say that. There's proper breaks in my satanic paedophile. Oh. You alright there? Somebody sounded like, just give me a minute there, Stephen. The guy right in the back there. Yeah, it's alright, man. It's fine. This QAnon's the best. It's the best conspiracy. The best we've got in Britain is David Icke. He is the best. You remember David Icke? You don't know David?
Lizard, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Lizard. Brilliant. Yeah, we've got a fan of him. He's got a great. Who's a fan of David Icke? Somebody over there.
Woo!
I like him too, right? He's got a great career.
He's great.
He is. When
Makes a lot of sense.
well, the thing is, he makes me look lazy, because when my mum goes, what are you doing with your career? David Icke has already been, he was a professional goalkeeper for Carlin City, he was a snooker commentator, he was a spokesperson for the Green Party, then he was the son of God for a bit in the 90s, and now he's a leading conspiracy theorist. What are you doing, Stephen? I'm like, I'm on Six Music for 5 minutes, so I've got an interview, you know, it's not... David Icke, oh my God, I sympathise. I was a goalkeeper too, right? I don't know if you know this. He was a goalkeeper. I was a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers are thinkers. We have time to think. Right? You know when goalkeeping, you know when you're so bad at a sport, they create a job for you, right? Where you don't have to adhere to the rules of that sport. They go, Stephen, you are so bad in football, a game that you use with your feet, that you can use your hands, Stephen, and just stand there. Don't come out of this box over here. I'll give you a different colour, high visibility yellow, just so we can keep an eye on you. And you've got a number 1 because you're special, aren't you, Stephen? And you're sitting, and mostly goalkeeping, sometimes you have to block someone coming in like a projectile, but mainly you're just thinking. That's all you do. Just thinking as a goalkeeper, you get plenty of time to think. You're sitting there and you're going, yeah, maybe I'm special, maybe I'm a god, I've got number 1, maybe I'm the top. Then you go, wait a minute, see my magic powers, do they work if I come out of the box? Are they real magic powers that I've got? Why are we split into 2 teams? Why have they got us fighting each other? Why are the fans supporting different teams? Why have they got them split? What's that referee doing? Who gave him the authority to do it? What about these commentators? Trying to retrospectively justify what's happening on the park? Oh my God, is it all a conspiracy? Maybe giant lizards are real. Yeah, giant lizards. because lizards can't regulate their body temperature. Neither can my girlfriend, right? She gets up in the middle of the night, and you know, she goes to the toilet and she comes back just like that, right on cue there. See that? See how well I've got this audience trained that I can just subliminally make people go to the toilet. I'll make them turn into a lizard on the way back, right? My girlfriend comes back and she's really cold, and I think maybe she's a lizard. And also, geckos, they don't blink, do they? They just stare at you. And she's like that as well. She gets all the truth out of me. She stares at me and I'm telling her, where were you? I was just out, you know, just doing a thing. You know, hey, it's difficult to cheat during lockdown, isn't it? I mean, really, you know, people that cheat during not lockdown, they're like amateurs. But I'll tell you what, when nothing's open and you don't have a job to go to, that separates the man from the boys then, you know. I'm just going to the, do you know the thing that's not open because of lockdown? I'm just going to meet up with so-and-so that's also self-isolating as well, so I can't meet up with them. I feel, this is the first time I felt genuine judgment from you people there. You know, there's been moments of, not that funny, but that's the first time I felt genuine moral. Go fuck yourself. Bad enough, I'm up here, I'll probably get COVID off you because you didn't bother vaccinating. And I'm sweating and it's hot, I've got a jacket on and now you're judging me with your faces as well. Never. I don't have a good time to do everything I want to do, but so we're just going to lock the doors and there's a show after this, but fuck them, you know what I say, let's just lock the doors, take it over, become a hostage situation, not let them in for days. Get on the news about it, oh, this kid could not be stopped. They just judged him at a certain moment, he went berserk, and this will be the toilets. I mean, to be fair, there is only one toilet, so you have to do it one at a time. If anything, I'm impressed by the way that you've managed to organise yourself. I think that's impressive. I think it's very impressive. Why did I wear black? Worst colour ever! He got a jug, he's sensible, but strangely hasn't got the toilet yet. He's got a bladder like a Trojan, hasn't he? The biggest bladder in the world. Let me have a look at my notes. I haven't looked at them so far, so I think, you know, if you want to judge me, fuck a lot of you. Right, so here's the thing, does anybody know if witches are real? Witches, you know, do witches exist? I'm looking at you specifically, because I don't know, the spokesperson for women, you think no. Over there, we didn't use, when I was a kid, we didn't have witches. We had witches at Halloween. I'm old school, we had witches on one day of the year. And you got to dump your, they used to drown you, right? When I was a kid, it's all gone American trick or treat, but they used to drown you. They would have a pool of water and you had to put your head under water to try and grab an apple with your teeth. And they would put like scones and sort of cakes on a hook and it would just be out of your reach and you had to sort of reach up your mouth and do it like, it wasn't trick or treat, it was just trick. That's all it was, there was no treats at all. But we didn't have, we had witches one day of the year, didn't we? And then the rest of the time, there was no witches, there was just the Middle Ages and misogyny. That's all it was. There was just crop failure in the 15th century, and an old woman who was more intelligent than everybody else, and a man with a pointy hat, and a match. That's all we had. We didn't have proper, there wasn't witches. When I was brought up, it was witches, it's misogyny. Do you remember when they used to dunk witches? Do you know about how they identified witches? This is when you know life isn't fair. They used to put a woman in the river, and if she floated, she was a witch, burn her. If she drowned, innocent. And I remember at 5 at school going, yeah, the whole fucking system's against you, isn't it? I remember that. But then I thought there wasn't witches. Then I came to London, I started dating middle class women, and by their own admission, they went, I'm a witch. And I'm like, are you? But they were always a white witch. They were like the acceptable face of witchcraft, you know, like the good Nazis. They were a white witch. But now, you just give away and go, I'm not even a white witch, I'm just a witch. And I'm like, are you? Because I feel that this is a trick. Do you know what I mean? Come on, help me. I'm a straight white man. I'm one tweet away from a career-ending mistake, right? If I go out and go, witches don't exist, people can go, misogynist! Burn him, he's got the wrong opinion, or equally, witches don't exist, told you, misogynist! Tell you, the biggest conspiracy ever is Santa Claus. Yeah. Just waiting for that noise. Yeah. I didn't want this next bit to be distorted by a squeak. Santa Claus is the ultimate conspiracy of all time. It is a pro-capitalist, let's sell stuff at Christmas, globalist conspiracy. They've agreed an agreed image, haven't they? It's anti-science because they claim that you can go faster than the speed of light and that an obese man can slide down a chimney. They've got all the kids in the world into it. It's a conspiracy they've got us all thinking about it. The adults, as soon as you walk in the room, oh, is Santa Claus coming? And do you have Santa Claus as well? Was it just me that was told about Santa Claus? Were you all in on the conspiracy? Were you all part of it as well? We were told, yes, you were saying that definitely it was just to get Stephen Carlin. I knew it. I knew it. When I was 5, Jonathan Gaffney came into primary school and he went, there is no Santa Claus. He doesn't exist. It's just your parents. And 2 weeks later, Jonathan Gaffney turned up dead in a cheap hotel surrounded by hookers. Right? Explain that to me. I think it's our parents going, listen, life is fucking crazy. You'll never trust anyone again. I think that's what they're actually doing you a favour to go, look, it's just all a racket. Don't believe anything. It's just mental. I'll pick you with Santa Claus and then you'll be realistic from time. You know what I mean? It's probably why I'm not getting a pyramid scheme or something like that, because it's Santa Claus. I don't trust Santa Claus. I don't trust Bill Gates. Who trusts Bill Gates? Have you seen Bill Gates is a billionaire who wears glasses, right? Bill Gates is a man who could afford laser eye surgery, who refuses to get it, and flies economy. Now, if he was flying economy to save up for laser eye surgery, fair enough. But if he, if he was thinking, fuck it, I'm not going to get laser eye surgery, but I'm going first class, but that, I don't trust him. I don't trust Elon Musk. Who trusts Elon Musk? Elon Musk, the unacceptable face of craziness. Elon, who sounds like a deodorant for starters, but Elon, he's one to talk about paedophiles, isn't he? Do you remember when there was a time, do you remember that, the kids in the cave in Thailand? Do you remember the kids in the cave a few years ago in Thailand, and he turned up with a submarine, like for the ocean, that doesn't fit in a cave. He turned up, and then there was another guy there that saved him, and he went, that guy's a paedophile. And I'm like, wait a minute, man, you've also turned up at a cave in Thailand to save young boys. I don't think you get to hand out allegations of other paedophilia. That should have gone into the satanic paedophile section. See, that's what these shows are for. Like, this is live editing. I thought that bit should go in right there. Basically, they said to me tonight, don't talk about COVID-19. They don't want to hear about it, right? I think I've managed to... Right, John, just talk about anything else. Don't talk about COVID-19. Don't talk about it. So, what else am I supposed to talk about? What else has been happening to me? Nothing for the last 18 months. That's like saying to somebody in June 1944, don't mention World War II, okay? You don't want to hear about it. Do your roaring 20s material. Right, anybody's house in London being bombed in a non-World War II fashion at the moment? That would have been me in the 1940s doing that. That was a little act out there of that. That was me doing my 1940s Stephen Carlin just for you tonight. Nobody else gets it. Just for you. That's how that bit would go. So I don't bother about it now. I don't talk about World War II either. This was the best war, wasn't it? World War II, wasn't it? Like wars, it was the best. Wasn't it World War II? It was the best war. It's the daddy. It's never been beaten. It's never been a better war. It's World War II. But Vietnam, that wasn't very good, was it? Anyone got a better war than World War II? It's at the bar so high, it's never been beaten. It's never, I think that's why they've never completed the trilogy. Who wants to end on a Return of the Jedi situation? Anyway, I've come to the conclusion that I am not my parents' child. Because I think it would certainly explain a lot. Okay, there's three brothers of us. There's me and the middle brother, and I don't think we are of my parents because we're interested in stuff. And, you know, the arts, and we always doing little shows and doing little sketches, and we're coming out of nowhere. And I don't remember the middle brother being born. I'm the oldest, I don't remember him being born, right? The youngest one was born, I remember that. The youngest one, he's there. I remember him being born. The middle one was just always there, from my memory, like a mountain or something, okay? He wasn't born, and as far as I'm aware, I wasn't born either. So, I have no evidence that I was born. I don't remember being born. You remember, you know, sometimes people say that to you. You don't know you're born. I'm like, no, I don't. Do I? Don't know I'm born. No, I think we're not. But I remember my mum was pregnant with the younger one. She got fat, you know, like a kangaroo. She got like a big belly, and she was, pregnancy. She basically, you know, when the baby comes out, like a little worm, and then it crawls up into the pouch of the mother. My mother had a maternity dress, there was a pouch in it, and my brother's head was sticking out of it. From memory, that's how that, don't look at me like, come on, you know how pregnancy works, right? Well, this comes out, and then it goes into the pouch. And there's a little teat in there, isn't there? And there's like, and it pops his head, and after 9 months it comes out of the pouch. Come on, this is basics, I shouldn't have to tell you this is how it works. That's what happens, it goes into the... Goodness sake, I'll have to explain everything to you. You've had sex education, you know. You shouldn't have to have it, it's instinctive sex. That's what she does during orgasm, she stays with this face I've heard. So, come on. Nobody needs sex lessons, we're humans, we're the best animals, apparently. We're meant to be more intelligent, and David Attenborough doesn't give the animals sex lessons. We're right in there, aren't we? You know the leopards on the Serengeti, they don't need sex, they're right in there, and we are meant to be more intelligent than the other animals. So we don't need sex lessons. And we've got pubic hair as a clue, right? Shaped like a pointy arrow. Could God be more obvious? He's going, look, just follow the arrows, mate. Look, put your arrow with her arrow and it will stick like Velcro. There's an anti-pubic vibe here or something. Something over there is like a really anti-pubic vibe, like, I bet they'll shave it off, or should probably go to my wax people, and is that what happened? You shave, what's wrong? Even the guys are up to it now, aren't they? You find that a lot of guys are kind of cheating in the cock length Olympics, aren't they? They're shaving their pubes. Well, just to let you know, we keep our pubes in Scotland because it's cold. What happens if you get stranded outside? Well, if you get really thick pubes and you shag very fast, it will start a fire. That is science fact. My God. I've been stuck during lockdown watching Red Quest channel, watching Long Island Medium, which, if you haven't seen it, you don't know what you're missing. Long Island Medium is Teresa Caputo. Teresa Caputo, she's got big long nails and boof on here. She's from Long Island and she's a medium. She talks to the dead, okay? Right, and so, if I was talking to a medium, right, let's say you can talk from beyond the... You don't know. You can speak from beyond the grave. I think you can speak from beyond the grave, don't you? I think these mediums just look like they're untrustworthy, but I think they're actually truthful people. I think they just look like somebody that's got all your details off the internet and tells it back to you. But I think they're really genuine underneath it. And Teresa Caputo, she always says, because she puts the They always go, your uncle died, your mother died. They want you to know not to blame yourself. Always says that it's not your fault, okay? Your son died, they want you to know it's not your fault. He said, please, always going about saying to people, don't blame yourself, it's not your fault. I thought that would not be me from beyond the grave, right? If anyone, if any medium ever goes, Stephen Carlin saying it's not your fault, they are lying, okay? Because me from beyond the grave will be going, it is your fault. I told you this would happen. You wouldn't listen to me. I said this at the time. By the way, I've had my back waxed now. Guys, we're just about out of time at the moment. Thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming. Out of everyone that has never paid to see me, you are the best. Out of like all of the cheapskates I've ever met in my life, you are my favourite. I love you so much. There's other comedy shows you probably know tonight. Hang about, see that. I'm Scottish. I like money. There is a bucket out there. If you feel that you'd like to make a donation for this, if you feel that you'd like to put in something, it would be wonderful. Whatever you've got. Price of a caravan or a beer or whatever, coffee, or that would be wonderful. You can put that in, and if you didn't like it, the good bit was when you're at the toilet. So, you're wonderful. Also, I've got a mailing list. If you want to join that, you can see me at the end, and I mail out about gigs, stuff like that, Thanks so much. This has been a work in progress show. This has been really helpful for me. Thank you so much for coming.